Okay, so hi, my name is Madeline Pierce. I am a 17-year-old author as of right now. I turned 18 2 weeks from today. This is May 1st. I started filming this halfway through April, and this is, I'm a teen author, aspiring author, and this is the vlog of publishing my debut novel. I've tried to film vlogs before, and I've never gotten through it, but I'm determined to get this one done because I want to vlog so badly my writing process. First vlog, know the scenery. I know it's not cute. I just don't feel like going to my room right now, and we just cleaned the playroom downstairs, and sorry, I just want to be down here. I didn't do a lot of filming at first, and I'm going to try to get better at that because I have cleared room on my phone and stuff. And I'm also out of school now, so I graduate in 16 days. That's kind of freaky. And I published my book in over a little bit over a month. So it's, oh my gosh, it was so close. In this vlog, we cover editing, the final rounds of edits, formatting, proofreading, who knows what else. As of today, May 1st, I'm going to try to finish the edits. As I talked about in the video later on, I did get edits back from my editor. I talked about that a little bit, I think. So, my debut novel, I don't want to go grab it, but I do have a printed version of it. I'm gonna grab it. I actually ended up grabbing all 3 books, but this is book 1. This is draft 2. It's taped on because the cover used to be in this style. It was so beat up. It's bad. Yeah. And then we have book 3. Draft 3 of this, I drafted 2023, and then we drafted these 2 for a while. After I drafted this in 2023, I self-edited it in 2024 and then went to betas. Again, draft 2 also had betas. One of them is actually one of my close friends now. Love you, Remy. I smack talk her a lot, but I do love her. Anyways, yeah. This cover is beat up. Look at that tape. I love this cover so much. Anyways, focus. So, I did a lot of the editing last year because I self-edited it before and after beta readers, and then sent to editor, all that stuff happening. Between this book, after I wrote draft 3, I wrote the 3rd draft of this book, which I'm actually currently self-editing, and that's also with the beta reader, but I need to finish editing that, because, side tangent, book 2, An Ordinary, this is a sci-fi fantasy, and book 3 is a mix, so An Ordinary is with a beta reader who beta read book 1, and I'm actually editing it as she beta reads it, and then once I finish doing my edits, I'm gonna have to go through and add in interludes, because this year I had the great idea to add an interlude to my books, and I swear it's because of Brandon Sanderson, because I made the decision to read the Stormlight Archive, and it changed my entire life. But I had the idea of short stories that give more information to the Calamity, which is in book 3, but it helps it helps build up to the Calamity more and everything. It adds a lot more depth and stuff, and so I had to add those into book 1 after I wrote it, and then I didn't the problem was that it was the interludes were just there. There was no reason they connected to the plot. They were just there, and I figured out a way to intertwine them with the plot a little bit more. Versus book 2, so in book 1, the main character Paris got visions, and in the visions he saw the interlude main character sometimes, but Aspen in book 2 doesn't get visions for reasons, and also the deity who sends the visions wouldn't want to send her visions because she sends Paris visions to scare him off. She doesn't want to scare Aspen off. She wants Aspen to do what she's supposed to do, so she wouldn't do it. So instead, what's going to happen is that her mentor, who their relationship in this book is very weird because they are together for the first 2 or 3 chapters, and then Aspen leaves, and they're they don't see each other much again after that. It's a broken mentor relationship. You can tell they used to be really close, but something happened. And something that happened is more than just her leaving him. Not in a romantic way. Father-daughter kind of relationship. Which I love them because, okay, first of all, she's taller than him. And they just have it's just a little funny dynamic. It's not what you might expect. Okay, so she writes diary entries. That's her thing. This book has journal entries from a character's dad, not the main character. This book has diary entries from her, between parts, and her mentor, Alistair Cozen, he's going to give her a diary before she leaves, and he's going to be this is important to you, you should read it. And basically, it's going to be the diary entries of the interlude character in these books. because the interlude character was his mother. So basically the point of the interludes are like, it's more than just adding, like, it adds a lot of context to the trilogy and it adds a lot of depth and stuff, but it also it's like, this is what happens when you go too far. Will you go too far? Like, it's paralleling the main characters in their arcs to specifically warn them about how far is too far. Book 3's interlude is a bit different. I haven't written it either because the interludes, the last one actually happens during the book, so it's a bit more connected because it's a lot more recent. Like, these are 1,000 years in the past. These are like a few 10 or so years in the past, and then these pick up from after this one because it's connected, and then it continues on. Final edits for this baby. First round of final edits for this one. This one hopefully will come out this year too. And then I'm final drafting this book. I'm not gonna talk about it a lot because it's kind of a lot, but I'm 90,000 words in, and that's the first part. Those 3 parts. In the past, my longest part has always been part 2 or part 3, and the longest part I've ever written is less than 80k, so having the first part be 90,000 words, and probably the shortest part, is not cute. I'm so scared about this one. I think it might inch towards 300,000 words. The biggest book I've written is 240,000, and that was recently. That was actually this year. I finished that book in February, but I'm scared because if I want to get this book out next year and it's gonna be 300,000 words, there's only so much I can cut. We'll figure it out later. Right now, discovery. And one last thing before I leave. This book. It's not the best, and I realized that because, again, I have written these 2 books since then. Like, I wrote this 3rd draft. I wrote the first draft for the next trilogy too. So I've written 5 books since then. And so as I come back to self-edit this for the final time and prepare to publish, I can tell that the writing, like, isn't the best. I'll be honest, the writing isn't the best. I don't know if this book I don't know what's going to happen with this book. I don't know if it's going to be, like, well-loved, well-hated. The writing isn't bad, and I definitely do enjoy it. It's just not the same as the next 2. And it's kind of the thing where I could go back and rewrite it because my writing has improved a lot. Kind of those things where, what do I want more? Like, do I want the best possible debut novel ever? Like, do I want to peak at my debut novel? Or do I want each book to get better and better? And honestly, I just want the trilogy out. And I think that once you finish the trilogy, you'll be able to look back and be like, okay, that was all. Like, the entire trilogy was golden. Because, like, how you watch Avatar: The Last Airbender, when you look back at it as a series. Siri, shut up! Like, you don't really focus. No, Siri, I don't need you. Nope. Bye, Siri. Siri, stop. Like, you don't, like, think about book 1 and book 2. Like, you think about the entire thing as a whole. And that's the point of the Nectar trilogy. So, book 1's not the best. So, I'm just gonna publish it. I'm gonna see what happens. I don't want to peak now. I want to peak when I'm an adult. I want to peak later on in life. I want to peak of my later books. I don't want my first book to be the best one ever. It's probably going to get, like, 2-star reviews, 3-star reviews. And that's okay. Because this is not a living. This is just what I'm doing to change the world. I'm not trying to make money out of this. Moral of the story. I'm a yapper. Yeah, God looked at me and he said, you're going to be a yapper. And it's only about my books. And Avatar. I could yap all day about Avatar. And Ninjago. By this point, Discovery should be out there in the world. You should go check it out and read it for me if you want to. I love it. I love him so much. He's not the best book ever. He's not gonna blow your mind. He's not gonna change your life yet. But we're gonna get there. I have this trilogy written. I'm on book 3. We're gonna get there. Welcome to the writing blog. Okay, hello, just got my edit back from my editor, and so, my dad, he was giving me advice before he sent it to me, and I'm not looking at it yet, and he was like, basically, she thinks it's too long. I know it's too long. It's 150,000 words. I know it's too long. I know she thinks it's too long, but there's only so much I'm going to cut, and I'm gonna say now, she's gonna want the interludes gone. She's gonna want the interludes gone, and she's probably gonna want some stuff cut from the middle, and she might want the ending changed. Cause my dad was like, can't take out the ending, and I was like, oh, Buster Moon. I'm not taking out the interludes. I'm not taking out the prologue either. I'll fight. I'm not taking those out. And I know, I'll see what she has to say about them. But personally, because I know the trilogy as a whole, I'm not gonna take them out. I know it's taking risks, but it's like, for me, it's not about if it's gonna sell. It's about if the story itself is good, and the story itself comes from an overall trilogy. Not taking out the interludes. I say that now. I'm not taking them out. I have a lot of confidence in myself as a writer, and it's probably a bad thing. But I'm gonna trust her. Everything grammar, trusting her completely, throwing my life into her arms. Developmental stuff, I'm a bit more iffy on, because I actually know a lot about developmental stuff, so I know the trilogy itself a lot better than she does. Like, she doesn't know anything about the next 2 books, and I've written them, so we're gonna see what she say. I'm just like preparing myself mentally for this. I'm kind of scared. Okay. This is gonna be. I'm gonna read it. I'm probably gonna cry my eyes out. So I went through my editor's notes, and okay, I'm so happy with myself. Actually, okay, she was a bit harsh, and I was expecting that. But here's the thing: she was harping mainly on the interludes and the prologue, the things I was the most worried about. The story itself, she had very little comments on. So I dare say that the story itself I ate. I dare say the only problem is how to intervene, weave in the interludes and the prologue more in depth, because to me it makes sense because I know everything, but to the reader it's confusing. And there's some small things I need to fix and everything, but like all in all, it's not that shabby. Today, basically, I made a to-do list. I'll put it on screen for you. I'll put some B-roll for you, so you don't have to see this nasty face right now, because it's not cute, let's be honest. There's not much to do developmentally. There's not much to do. Tonight, my goal is to rewrite the prologue. Basically, I want to make a list of things that I know need to be said for the franchise to make sense, and keep those in, and I'm gonna cut down the narrative snarky. Like, I'm gonna try to keep it short and sweet. I'm going to fix how the main character is connected to the interludes, because I know how to. I just need to do it. So I'm gonna do that tonight. I'm gonna fix the ending tonight, hopefully, and then hopefully I can fix the flashbacks. And then everything revolving around the interludes, I'm actually gonna do that tomorrow, because I'm gonna print them off tonight and read them in school, and edit them in school. Okay, that's the game plan. We're gonna get going. Girl, what are you doing? Oh, you're not very smart. Oh, where's your brain at? took your brain out of your head. No, come back. Hi! Stupid. Hi, I don't know when the last time I updated is, but I'm basically out of school now. I have to go back for first period because that's band, and we have a concert sale. 3 seniors have to go for band, and I have a ceremony tomorrow and stuff. But basically, I'm done on my work. I want to get my edits done by Monday, and by this point, I basically realized that the edits are it's just a glorified read through. Because all you did everything developmentally, like last year, and the year beforehand, and right now, it's just cleaning it up. And it's already pretty clean. Like, I'm not too my own horn. It was the work last year. So, past me was everyone for that. But, there's still some things I have to fix. I have to make the interludes match more and everything. Anyways, so, it's 2:24. I'm going to work on making a map. Because I need to get a map done before I start formatting it. I have a rough map done. Let me pull it up while I chat. But, like, it's not going to cut it. Like, I need a good map. And my original plan was to draw it. I drew Min last night. The top ones in the top of my characters. And the ones in the bottom of my friend's characters, Sam. This guy and this guy are the same person. He's a man. Anyways, but it's not gonna cut it because it's not like good enough, and I don't want to learn how to make a map. So I'm gonna use Incarnate, and I have tried it before. The map I have, it's color coded and everything, and I used it to help like judge the travel distance and everything. Yeah, it was for me, but I need a map for the readers. So I'm using Incarnate because it's a good map using website. But the thing is that this world is basically just, it is Earth, so it's in the future. So it's our continents. So I have to trace our continents, but they're slightly shaped differently. So like it's not the exact same. But yeah, I'm gonna do that for the next 30 minutes. Then we're gonna get back to reading Discovery, which is the novel I'm trying to publish, because I want that done by next Monday. And I just reached part 2. But part 2 is when things get good, so hopefully I'll get back into the headspace of it. But I'm gonna work on this map. We're in editing slumps. And this line right here is one of my favorite parts of the trilogy because a lot of cute angles. The trilogy really goes into dealing with the difference between like it technically is good versus evil, but like you see both sides of it. Like it's also evil versus good. You know, like is good really good? Is evil really good? Is evil really evil? And it really like goes into the thing where like it's about like finding the light in the dark, but it's also about like when the light becomes too blinding, and the light doesn't always represent like goodness. You know, like it shows it is kind of about like the climax of the third book is like finding the light in the darkest night, but at the same time it's also the sense of, hey, is the light really like good? You know, like it's just an expression. And this line right here really shows that like when the light blinds you, and I love that. I love this book. Okay, it's time for the update. Today is the day I finished edits. I'm so close. Like, I'm like on the final 2 chapters. I'm notoriously bad at doing endings. I'm bad at relationship arcs. I always mess one up in a book, always. Anyways, and then the next problem is, no, this is not. I'm also bad at book endings. I think the only solid book ending I have is the ending of book 2, The Natural and Ordinary, because it's just a straight up cliffhanger. So like, it can end quickly and it won't be satisfying. Like Discovery, which like I even had this problem with Visionary and Sacrifice, which is the 3rd book of another trilogy. I don't talk about a lot. Well, I probably will eventually, but I had that series written. Anyways, the 3rd book of that series, I rushed the ending as well. You know, just casually rushing the finale. Like, literally, they get out of the climax, and there's, like, 2 chapters of recuperation, and then the book ends. It's like, what the frick? Like, you just ended the trilogy like that? It's okay. That was the first draft. But did it with Visionary, too. But I'm fixing that. Okay, so, booked Unordinary and Discovery had different casts. So, Discovery is a fantasy, and then we actually switch genres and go to sci-fi, a different part of the world in Unordinary, and we have a new cast. So you have to, in book 1, Discovery has to basically be a standalone, because it has to end and be like satisfying, because you don't see the characters again until book 3. So it has to have a satisfying conclusion, like wrap everything up, but then you also have to have that feeling of something, like there's more to the story, like more is going to happen. You have to have the underlying weight of knowing that more is going to happen. And then you also have to, like, have the cliffhanger part. Not really cliffhanger, but what draws you into book 2. But it can't be the pre-existing characters because they're not in book 2. So it has to do 3 different things. It has to be satisfying and wrap everything up without actually wrapping things up. It has to lead into book 3 without obviously leading into book 3, and it has to lead directly into book 2, even though we haven't met those characters yet. And the way we do that is through a vision. The issue is that, okay, the end of the book, the main character, this whole guy, Paris, finds his family again. There's reason why and everything. But it's always been a problem, but it's felt too rushed and sudden. And so today, I had to add more dialogue beforehand, like the chapter beforehand to make it, not the chapter beforehand, but the scene beforehand to make everything line up better. Okay, so there's too many names introduced and stuff. It was too quick and sudden. So I think I fixed it to verse too quick. I added in more build up. And then another thing I'm doing is my options pretty either leave it the way it was, because she suggests, because I thought about having us not find the parents until book 3, but that book 3 is already big enough. I've talked about book 3. We don't need any more to add to it. So I was we don't need another subplot. We cannot add another subplot to book 3. It has to stop being added onto. We have to stop. So I was like, okay, we're limited to book 1. What are our options? Leave it how it is or kill them off. And so I started leaning towards kill them off, because we don't have to worry about them coming back. We just have that underlying grief that his everything he had is dead. His parents are dead, his sister's dead, and it's because of him. So we have that underlying grief and stuff. That is a good character thing for him in book 3, where he feels he has to prove himself because of all the failures he's had. So this would add on to that grief when he gets his memories back and help add to his arc in book 3. The problem is that his mother, oh, God bless that woman. Her name is Ever, and there are sad twins in this book, and their mom's name is Serene. Serene and Ever actually have Elsa's staring at me. Serene and Ever have history, okay? Yes, so Serene and Ever fought a long time ago, what's called the Strain. And the Strain is kind of, so the point of Natural is that Armageddon is coming. It's called the Calamity, like Legend of Zelda. I did not realize I did that until the other day. I am a Zelda fan. I just kind of forgot. It's called the Calamity. Anyways, the Calamity, and you have to stop the Calamity. And the Calamity, and a big thing in this trilogy and franchise really is that history always repeats itself because we don't learn as humans. And so the Calamity coming is a repeat of the Strain. And so by learning more about the Strain, you learn more about the Calamity. And how humans work and everything, how corrupt our minds are, and how we don't listen, we don't learn. Yeah. So the Strain, that's some more in it too. But yeah, the Strain failed. The Calamity won't. We're not gonna go into that. The point is that Ever and Serene were alive during the Strain, and they fought during the Strain. Okay, to help add context to book 3 and what exactly the Calamity is, and what is the connections here? We have a conversation where Serene and Ever in book 3 talk about the Strain, and it gives more context to the rest of the book, and I think it's really heavily needed context. That conversation was originally monologue, and that's boring. I don't want to read monologue. So I was like, okay, we're going to spice it up. We're going to add a dialogue between these two characters who fought during this. And it adds an emotional depth to the story, right? Because we see the grief with these two characters who fought during the Strain. And Serene met her husband in the Strain. He's dead now. So it's just that added layer of aliveness. Yeah, as one does. But the issue is that if I take Ever out and kill her off, then they can't have that conversation. And she's the only person Serena can have that conversation with, because nobody else was alive during that who's still alive now. Nobody has fought during that as they still do now. Except for one character. Except he's kind of on his deathbed. And he was also 6, so he doesn't remember it. I think. I kind of forgot how old he was. So I needed her alive. That's the moral of the story. For that one conversation. So, moving on. Okay, so I was like, okay, Maddie, you're gonna have to be mean right now. Be honest with yourself, Maddie. What is the point of the main character, Paris? What is the point of his sister and his father? They don't have that conversation in book 3. They are needed for it. And so I was like, okay, we kill them off. That means 2 less characters at the end of the book. We add that layer of grief to Paris and his mother, and it gives them more time, screen time, so they have time to deal with that pain. And then when you're in the book, there's that underlying pain in your heart because nothing is that is not resolved. Paris is now his mother he and his mother have a strange relationship now, because he's the reason his father and his sister are dead. And so, like, they love each other, but at the same time, it's like, it's strained. Hi. Okay, moral of the story. What's it gonna say? I don't know. I think it works, though. The book. So, I'm gonna go write that. I'm gonna go write that book. Time for a writing update, and I know I don't look cute. Nothing looks cute, but that's okay. I'm being honest here. My lip. Oh my gosh. I finished edits. I played around with formatting on Word, because I was originally going to get Adobe InDesign. Last night, it is the 6th, by the way. Last night, okay, yesterday, I finished the language, which I realized I didn't really need to finalize it, because nobody actually speaks it in the book. I finished the map that I've been complaining about for so long. I'm going to show you the map I did. It's not the best, but while I pull that up... Hi, Mittens! Want to say hi to the vlog? You want to say hi to the vlog? And there she is. Hi. She's showing you her tummy. We're gonna try to do some formatting. I'm gonna look up some YouTube videos, and we're going to... Mittens, if you step on the fire... She stepped on a spider trap yesterday. Okay, bye. Here's the map I did. It's not the best. It's pretty good, though. Some of the names are really funny, like Loser, Brokehaven, ODC, US, Winner. Yeah. Stupid names sometimes, but like for the most part, it's pretty solid. I used Incarnate because I cannot make maps. But yeah, that's the map for the book. Because I'm sure you all wanted a map. Yeah. I'm gonna be honest for a second, because I know it's like 2 a.m. and I just got hit with like the biggest wave of imposter syndrome I've ever had in my life. It's not something I constantly fight. I'm just like so used to getting over it. But I'm not trying to like flaunt it or anything, because I just got numb to it. I just realized that this book is either the most prepared thing you've ever read in your life or the most unprepared thing ever. Because I have made some severe changes since my last round of beta readers, and I never thought I would do that. Like when I started self-publishing, I didn't think it would go through more major changes because of how well I knew this trilogy. And then I decided to add it interludes after beta readers had read it. I did have the interludes beta read separately, but not combined. I'm deciding to change part of the ending. And I consulted 2 beta. I consulted 2 different betas, and they both told me the same thing. And then I decided to do the exact opposite thing, because I'm trying to trust my
I'm telling myself, it's because I talked to myself through it. I was like, at the end of the day, which one's better? Because it's not about how it affects the book. It's about how it affects the trilogy. That's what matters to me. Honestly, nobody can tell me what to do because nobody's read this full version. I think if I published the version on my pages I read, it would be okay. Because that was solid. It didn't have the extra layer of complexity that I added since then that will help connect it to the third book. And that's the problem. The layer of complexity with the interludes and the new ending. Okay, not the new endings. Something else. But with the interludes, that adds a complexity that like is specifically geared towards book 3. And we do it does play a role in this book, but that role is to parallel because this world is based on parallels. Like everything is built on parallels. And we do see how it affects the main character. Because I've looked that in. But at the end of the day, it mainly comes from book 3. What do you do? I know this book's gonna flop. I'm not stupid. I know the trilogy is gonna do badly because it doesn't match the market. It doesn't match the standards. I know that. I'm not stupid, but am I just making a mistake? I mean, realistically, nothing's telling me that I have to publish in June. Nobody's like, hey, Maddie, you have to publish next month. I could push it back in July. I could do it in July. I could do another round of beta readers just to make sure that it works. But that makes me feel better, yes, but I hate the beta reader process so much. I don't want to do that again. I always thought the trilogy was so well prepared. And it is in the way of it's structured is prepared that way, but not in the way of publication, and I realize that now. Should I just take this risk and publish it? I don't know, should I? Because it goes out to Arcs on Wednesday if I do this. Brandon Sanderson said in his videos that he had the Trust Me series, and that was the Streamline archive, and he used his basis as Brandon Sanderson to get his readers to trust him. I have no basis. I'm asking you to trust me blindly, and that's stupid. I'm literally not even graduated yet. I have a massive trilogy. I have nothing to my name, and I'm publishing the first book having no trust in myself. I don't care if it flops. I just want it to be the best one I could possibly put out there. And I'm scared that I messed it all up. I'm scared that I did too much. I want to say that I did it right, because I think I did. My gut tells me that I did. But I don't know what other people would think. Because I showed 2 different things to both my beta readers. But the thing is that they haven't read the version that has the interludes. The interludes has this emotional depth to it. I think it's all based on what I think. That's subjective. I think if I just take a leap for it, I'm fully putting my faith in God. It's really hard and I'm really scared now. Is this even worth it? I know it's worth it. I have one chance left to format. I'm just gonna format it and then I'm gonna deal with this tomorrow. I think it's just because this 2 a.m. makes I don't struggle like this. You know what? I told myself a long time ago that this was my risk. I was going to take a risk and publish this series. I told myself that. I was like, hey Maddie, you're going to make a mistake. You're going to publish this series, and it's going to be a risk. It's probably not going to make a risk. And you're still going to do it because you believe in your work. And you believe in what has God put in your heart. You believe the story needs to be told. This is the risk I'm taking. I feel like Paris, because he starts second guessing himself. I feel like that now. Jaden does that too, It's really bad. I should not be smiling. It's not cute. I'm just gonna finish formatting it. I have 1 chapter left. I love imposter syndrome. So much. Goodbye. Thank you for coming to my rant.
Hey vlog. Don't know how much storage my phone has, and so we're gonna keep this quick. The 19th. It's the 20th. Okay. What has happened? I finished formatting, and I turned 18. I'm an adult now. But today, and I want to talk about Discovery. I want to talk about book 3. I'm reading book 3 again. I think I added way too much into this book, and I know that I left things out in draft 2. Like, I look at draft 2 and I'm like, okay, you didn't get to everything. Like, there's so much condensed in this trilogy that you have to wrap in book 3. And I love it. I love that book. I love this book so much. But at the same time, I'm like, girl, you're doing too much. You have to stop. So I think I'm just gonna write this draft how it is. I'm gonna follow my outline, do it how it is. And then after I do the outline, I'm going to go back and edit it, and I'm going to take notes of chapters that I think can be cut out and plot lines that I think can be cut out and get rid of them. But basically today, fun fact for me is that I love romance. I love romance, like brother romance. Not romance, like the brotherly love, but like blood related or not blood related. I love it so much. And it's in natural. And it wasn't always in natural. It was just like in the past, it's just kind of been there. Like, hey, it's kind of here. Like, it's in the background, but it's there. But now it's like definitely more obvious because of how attached I've gotten to 2 characters. I'm sure you've heard of them if you follow my Instagram, Alistair and Ezra. I love them. Oh my gosh, I love them. But since I've been like so involved with the characters recently, I've upgraded them a lot, and like the characters have grown, which means that their plot has grown. Okay, they've gotten like a whole plot line in the 3rd book, and they have a scene. Okay, basically in this trilogy, they have a broken romance because they don't really talk. They're basically separated until book 3. They do have like 2 reunions in book 2, which makes more sense when you read it. And this is the scene where they meet again in book 3. And this is when they're basically inseparable for the rest of the trilogy, the rest of the book. Like after this point in time, you cannot separate them, except for this one scene or this one thing that happens where they get separated. But then it ends up okay. So like this is the start of that. I've been waiting to write it for so long. But before that little bromance scene, we actually have a broken mentor-mentee moment, because Alistair is one of the main character's mentors. So Aspen is one of the main characters, and one of her previous mentor is Alistair. We actually don't see the relationship in Natural, like at full force, because by the time we get to Natural, it's already broken apart, because they're split up in the beginning of book 2. Because of the plot. But you can but you just have these feelings that they used to be close, and there used to be a father-daughter dynamic between them, but it's broken. Basically, Aspen kind of spends the books trying to hate on Alistair, but at the same time, you can see, hey, she doesn't hate him. She cares about him. Like, she cares a lot about him. She's pretending to hate him. She doesn't really hate him. And then in book 3, in book 2, she has been feeling that. I hate this man. She doesn't hate him. And then she, somebody's like, you don't hate him, do you? And she's like, no, I don't hate him. But in book 3, she is like on the edge. Like, she's snapping. Girl ain't not okay. And she's very self-destructive, very violent. She is like on the verge of being inhuman, of just driving herself to the brink. And they have a moment where they talk after they meet up. Again, after a lot of crap has happened, and she blames everything on him, right? And he kind of reveals that he was never supposed to be her mentor, and that he made himself her mentor because they have a thing where they parallel, because they have really similar mindsets. And it's kind of this thing where Alistair became this person, but he was so close to being something else. And when he first met Aspen, he saw himself, and he was afraid that she would become the thing that he almost became. Like, he would follow she would follow his footsteps in a really bad way. And he didn't want her to become him. And so, basically, the school was going to turn her into a weapon. It's so many, okay, just trust me. And so, everything he did was for her own well-being. So he purposely gave her a team so that she would learn to rely on other people, and he did everything he could to save her from herself. He kind of reveals that, but then she's like, but you still left me. Like, she admits to needing him. She doesn't admit to ever needing anybody, ever. Because she doesn't need people. She's independent, like, completely independent. And she's like, when I failed that test, which is, like, the inciting incident in book 2, when I failed that test, you left me. And that stings for him, because he never wanted this to happen. He has so much that happens to him. And, like, especially, and then, like, so in a previous spinoff called Crimson Stains, yes, he's the main character, and he has, he's 17 in that, versus Aspen being 16, 17 in Natural, and then you can see the really similar mindsets, and really similar things happening, and in CS, okay, so basically, in Natural, Alistair is like, hey, like he's explaining why he did everything that he did for her, and he's like, you needed a team, you needed people to rely on, you needed genuine love, you needed to be seen. And then in CS, his, like, the dark part of the book when he just breaks is him sobbing, I just wanted to be seen, because he. And then we have some Thunderbolts clan family there, and it's so good. And then Aspen is also like, no, this is out of order, but like Aspen was like, no, you wanted to become a mentor not to save me, but so that you would know me so well that you would be able to break me with one blow. In Crimson Stains, Alistair is trained by a guy named Malachi, who's only like 2 years older than him, but Malachi was really toxic. Okay, Alistair has a lot of things to talk. He has a lot of bad experiences of toxic relationships. And basically, he had a toxic relationship with his sister, but never noticed it because she showered him with love. Malachi comes around and showers him with love, and he basically gives everything Alistair wanted, but he's too soft. And he was using him the entire time. He was using him. He trained him so that he would understand Alistair so well, so that he'd be able to break him with one blow. And he did. It's okay, because we have Ezra and stuff. But in Natural, Aspen is blaming. Okay, Aspen didn't know that happened. Aspen didn't know that he was trained by Malachi. She didn't know any of that. Also, Malachi was gonna train Aspen. Can you imagine, like, Alistair's panic when he learned that the people were gonna have Malachi train Aspen? He risked so much for her, and it hurts. It really hurts. I love his character. His character is so vulnerable, and it's so, like, when you read the spinoff of CS in the next book, which is Dying Renegades, it adds so many layers to his character, and it's so painful. It hurts. It really hurts. It really hurts me in the heart. I really love this guy, and he's not super major in Natural, but oh my gosh, it hurts. So that's my ramble. Okay, I'm almost at the romance scene. Actually, I'm like right there. I have to write something else first, because there's like one more thing that happens. That's my, yeah. Hi, this is the mic. It's been a hot minute since we chatted. It's been a really hot minute. It's been about, I don't know the last time we talked to this, but here's my update. She's a proof copy. She's actually gorgeous, like actually stunning. She's a stunning work of art, and I need to fix the back because it's not centered, and it's okay. So that's about it. So what's happened is I started proofreading it, but I'm not very far. I'm taking a break from that today because today we've been editing book 2. My goal, here's my goals in my head right now. I need the final versions, like the files by the 11th. It's not even July. It's not even June yet. So we're not gonna read that. I'll get back to it tomorrow. But for now, I mainly will read on book 2. I'm trying to get part 2 edited today. I have 2 chapters of the part 2 for book 2 because I need to get book 2 to behaviors in July. Also, I have book now. Can't really show you because my droid's sitting on it, but for my friends, yay! Okay, I'm gonna go do some writing, and then I'm gonna go to bed because I'm trying to fix my sleep schedule and get up earlier, which means I'm gonna bed earlier. So, and we have officially entered the area where Maddie stopped recording footage. I did actually have some more clips of me talking, but this video is getting too long, so I'm gonna wrap it up right now. The date right now is the 28th, I believe. Actually, I don't know. It's the 29th, actually, and of June. Last Monday, I released my book. Basically, it got pushed back a few days because I was having technology trouble with KDP. But we got to work. The hardcover still isn't ready yet. I need to do that tomorrow. I'm not even thinking about publishing. I know that the ending is probably really anticlimactic because you're literally just getting B-roll. This is just B-roll. You're not even getting, you don't get a video of me on release day because I didn't film anything on release day. I just filmed B-roll. But it was a good release day. It's been a good week. I've just been busy. I want to start recording a vlog for book 2, so I just wanted to get this one out as fast as possible. So we were resorting to B-roll and voiceovers to end the entire thing. But I really can't think of anything to say. It really was a good release. It wasn't super crazy. There wasn't 20,000 orders or anything. But there's a lot of support, and I enjoyed it, and I'm proud of what I have done, and I'm moving on with other books. So that's really cool. Expect more videos in the future. I'm about to film a book 2 vlog. I really hope. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. I'm sorry you missed so much. Oh, I also started a new project. I think I was going to include it in the video, but then I ended up taking out those clips that talked about it. But I did start a new project. Maybe I'll talk about that more in book 2's vlog, because this one needs to end. So, I hope you guys enjoyed the first vlog of the channel. If you do, make sure to follow my Instagram. I'm very active on there. I love talking to you guys, love supporting you guys. So thank you guys for everything you've done. I hope you enjoy the video, even though it's really long. So, yeah, that's it. I published a book, and it's 3 a.m. I'm going to bed.